Hey guys, it's me Talha. So this is the final video of a tutorial series in which I share with you some tips and tricks about modeling classical architectural elements in Revit, and in this video we'll be modeling the entrance design for this villa. But before I get started, I would like to suggest you check out my website learnrevitonline.com to get Revit advanced courses, as well as you can check out my Patreon to get all my Revit project files. Now let's get started. So here I'm in Revit, and as you can see I have already opened this project, and if you notice I have added the sweep around this parapet wall. I just use the same method which I used to create the grooves in the first video of this tutorial series. If you haven't watched that yet, I suggest you check that out. I just use wall sweep instead of wall reveal to add these sweeps around these walls. Anyway, in this video we are going to use Revit and AutoCAD to create the pattern design for this entrance. But before that, we want to create the entrance arch in Revit, and then we can just export it to AutoCAD and create the pattern design. Anyway, let's add the columns here, and I'm going to load a new column family. Here we have it. Now let's go to ground floor, and I'll just quickly hide these dimensions. Now let's go to architecture, select column architectural, and we can just place the column here, another one here. Now let's go to 3D, and you see we got these two columns here. Now I will just change the placement of these columns. Let's change the base level to street level. Perfect. And for the top level we can make it until penthouse, and then change the top offset to -2 meter. Perfect. Now we can create the arch here. So before that I will just extend this floor. So let's just make selection here, then filter, check none, then select floor and edit boundary. Let's go to ground level and just extend this floor until these steps. Now click finish. Okay, we have to create a line here. Let's click finish and just click don't attach and go to 3D. So you see we got this floor here. Now we are going to use wall to create the arch here, as well as to cover this part. So let's go to ground floor, select wall. This 20 centimeter wall is okay. Let's just make sure the location line is set to finish face exterior. Now we can draw a wall here. Just hit spacebar to flip it, just draw until here, and then just join that here. Now if I go to 3D, you see we got these two walls here. Now we can just select this wall, edit profile, and let's go to south elevation. Okay, let's isolate this wall and these columns so we can easily draw our arch here. So first click finish and select both these columns, this wall as well as this wall, so we can use it as a reference, and then just press HI on the keyboard to isolate the elements. There you go. Perfect. Now let's select this wall again and edit profile and delete this profile and create our arch here. So from the wall it will be 0.4 or 40 centi, and then 0.2, and then we can make here 15 centimeter, and now we can just fillet this corner. So use fillet arc, and let's give 10 centimeter radius, and then click this line and then this one. Perfect. Now we can just mirror this to the other side, but before that we need to draw a line here for the reference until this column. Now let's select all these lines and just mirror it from the middle of this line here. Perfect. Let's make it 3 meter and just join that here. Now let's select arc and draw from this point to this and just leave it like this, then select it again and make it 1.1 meter. Perfect. Let's delete this line and click finish and go to 3D. See, we got this cool looking arch here. Of course we can just take this back a little bit. Let's go to right view. Let's select this arch and move it to the center of this column. Perfect. Now let's edit this wall. Select that, edit profile, and let's go to right view and just drag this line until this arch. Let's use align tool, AL, and hit tab key to highlight the face of this wall and then just align this line. Now let's just drag this, remove constraints, then align to the column here. Let's quickly edit this floor again, just take it back until this arch here as well, then click finish and don't attach and use align again, AL, and just align this wall. Let's select this face here first and then the face of this wall. Okay, we need to align here as well. Perfect. So we got our basic structure for this entrance. Now we can just export this to AutoCAD and create a pattern design for these two faces, but before that I will just quickly add sweep to these two walls. So let's go here, select wall sweep and just add anywhere on the wall. We can just align that, AL, to align to this face, and perfect. Now we can export this to AutoCAD. So we want to export this front and this right side elevation to AutoCAD. So let's go to the front elevation, and as you can see, these columns and this arch is already isolated. So to export this to AutoCAD, let's go to file, export CAD formats, DWG. Here we just need to click these three dots. We need to do some changes. Just change the units to meter. It's already set to meter, so we can just export it. Just click OK. Next, and let's export that here, south elevation. And if you are using an older version of AutoCAD, you can just change it from here and choose AutoCAD 2007 DWG file, or I'm using a latest version of AutoCAD, so I will just leave it on AutoCAD 2013 and click OK. Just click here, leave the temporary hide isolate elements. Perfect. The file is now exported. Now let's go to the right elevation, which is east elevation. So let's go to east elevation and just select this wall as well as this column, so we can use this as a reference, and then press HI on the keyboard to isolate this and go to file, export CAD formats and DWG. Now the settings will be saved. You see the units set to meter already. Now we can just click OK. Next, and this will be east elevation and the file format will be 2013. Click OK and leave the temporary hide isolate elements. Now let's move to the AutoCAD. So the file is now open. Let's quickly add a border around this arch here. So let's use offset. I don't know where it is. Just press O space for offset, and let's put 10 centimeter. Enter and select this arch and create an offset here as well, and on just add the offset, just add the 10 centimeter offset around this arch. Now let's trim these lines. So TR, hit space bar twice and just trim these lines. Now let's add a pattern to this arch. I have downloaded some patterns from the internet. If you want, you can get this file from cadnets.com. Anyway, let's use this pattern. So to use it, just select the pattern and press Ctrl C on the keyboard and go back to your project file and press Ctrl V. There you go. It's very huge, so let's scale this pattern. Select the pattern again and use scale command. Let's use this as a base point, and then click reference, and we want to use these two lines as a reference. So this will be first point and this will be second, and let's put 3 centimeter, so 0.03. Enter. There you go. Now let's just move this pattern to the arch here. Okay, before that we want to create a block of this arch. Let's select all and press B on the keyboard to create block. Enter, and let's name it arch, and we can use this as a pick point, and then click OK, and we got the block here. Now let's add this pattern to the arch like so, or if you want you can just move it a little bit. Perfect. Now we need to delete these pattern lines which are overlapping the arch. So let's quickly delete all of this. Now let's draw a line in the middle of this arch and delete all these pattern lines here, and trim this as well. Now we need to close all the gaps here, so we will not face any problem when we import this pattern into Revit. So let's quickly close these gaps using the line tool. Now we need to trim all the extra lines here, so let's use trim and trim all these lines. So the pattern is now ready. We can now just mirror it to the other side. Let's select all and mirror from here, from this line which we have created for the reference, like so. Click no. Perfect. Now we are ready to move back to Revit and load this pattern, but before that we need to delete this arch, as well as we need to remove all the overlapping lines. So for that we need to use overkill command, over kill, and select all the lines, hit spacebar and just click OK, and you see 16 overlapping objects were deleted and 711 duplicate lines were deleted. Now we are ready to load this into Revit, so let's save this file and go back to Revit, and we want to create a new generic model here. So let's go to component, model in place, save project. Let's select generic models here and then click OK and OK again, and select extrusion and set the workflow to this face. And now we can load the pattern design which we have just created. So let's go to insert, import CAD. Here we have the file. Just change the positioning to center and click open. So our pattern is now loaded here, but if you cannot see this pattern, you can just press ZA to zoom all and you will find this pattern somewhere on your screen. For now I have found exactly on this arch here. Let's move this using this line as a reference. So select all and I will just move it to the middle of this arch here, and then move again 10 centimeter. So as you can see, our pattern is now perfectly matched with the arch here. Now we can delete this reference line and click finish. And sometimes you might get this error that lines cannot intersect each other. So I don't know where exactly the lines which are intersecting. So to find them out, we can click show button. If I click show, it will take me to the lines which are intersecting, and you see here, just click continue, and if you notice these two lines were intersecting, so I can just use TR and trim that, and then I can just click finish and fix all the intersecting lines. So I have fixed all the errors. Now we can just click finish. There you go. If I go to 3D, see we got this cool looking pattern here, but the thickness of this is too much, so we can just select that and change the thickness here in the extrusion end. Let's make it 3 centimeter, so 0.03, enter, and it's perfect now. Let's go to the south elevation and create the border around this pattern. So go to create, extrusion, set the work plane to this face, and then use pick lines and just hover over this line here and hit tab key a couple of times to highlight all the joined lines. Now we can give 10 centimeter offset and repeat the same. Hover over this line, hit tab key a couple of times. Okay, first just click here and then hover over this line and hit tab key a couple of times, then click. Perfect. Okay, here actually we need to move these lines. Now it's perfect. Let's click finish and go back to 3D, and this border will be around 5 centimeter or 6 centimeter maybe. Let's put 0.6, enter. Perfect. Now let's add a material parameter to this pattern as well as border. I want to apply same material to both of these, both the pattern and this border. If you want to apply a different material, you can create a different material parameter for both of these. Anyway, let's select both and then click here, create new pattern and border or whatever you call it, click OK and finish model. and of course you will find that material parameter here. So I will use the same method and create a pattern on this face here as well. So that's how you create these kind of pattern designs in Revit. So that's it for this video. I hope you have learned something new. So please make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to turn on the post notifications, and don't forget to check out my website learnrevitonline.com to get Revit advanced courses, as well as you can check out my Patreon to get all my Revit project files. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.